Now, you guys have heard about buying and selling accounts in Rise of Kingdoms. I don't think I've ever talked about this in my channel because I've never really participated in such action. Now, I've always been curious of how things work. I know there are third party that are, being used by many players. I've been in 1412. People have used it. When we created content about Arvix, it was very much well known that he had purchased accounts to pretty much help his kingdom. So, buying accounts and selling accounts is very risky because you can technically get scammed, because I think I've heard about it before. When it was first starting out, there were people who were getting scammed from buying and purchasing accounts from the sellers. And even for the players who are selling account, you can still get pretty much scammed. I think we had a leader here in 2581 who sold his account and pretty much got scammed, and it was pretty much became a rogue account in 2581, and we had to like report the guy, and basically that account was blocked. So whenever you're doing third party buying and selling outside of Rise of Kingdoms, is very risky. So recently I was speaking to a friend about buying and selling an account and how things work, and funny enough, this Discord was sent to me, and you can actually see how very nice and detailed they are. And you can see that there's under $500, and there's 500 to 1,000, there's 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 3,500, and you can see like above $1,000 as well. And you can see like these are gonna be like VIP 18. They'll have like passport. There's a lot of gold heads, 983 gold heads, right? 90 passports, 3 million credits in here. You can see the expertise commanders, what type of city team they have. This thing is actually worth about $13,000, which is pretty insane, right? There's an account warranty for 3 months as well, 100% refund if the account has a problem related to account security. That is very interesting. I don't know how they're able to do like a warranty in here, which is very interesting, honestly. I've even heard that sellers, the third party sellers, have their own ways of like pretty much unbinding the account. So I don't really know how they're doing the unbinding of account, because technically that's only Lilith who can really do, or Ligu can really do the unbinding, because I've tried to unbind and they ask a lot of questions. So apparently for what I know, I've never practiced this, for what I know, that unbinding account with the sellers, some of them are really easy. They'll do everything. They'll do everything for you for their services. So it's very sketchy on how is it possible that they can just unbind account at an ease, rather than me trying to unbind it by myself, which requires a lot more information. But really, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that Rise of Kingdoms is making or thinking about making a store where players can buy and sell account. Now, there's benefits for this, right? The benefit for this is safety of every single player that are buying and selling account. We know that it happens. Lilith know that it happens. Lilith know that there are players who are being scammed, and I think the path of them going forward to like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna host this buying and selling so that people are gonna be safe. I think that's a very proactive movement from Lilith to do that. I know in other games there's a lot of buying and selling accounts, but I think coming from a developers to do this, I think it's a big step for them, and it shows that how much they care about the players. But of course they're going to make profit out of this, because also one thing I want to say is that if since they're not involved in the third party sellers like these, they're not profiting from this, and this is their game. So by them doing this, they are going to profit. And one of the biggest thing that I can say, when they do this, is going to be more systematically, and there is going to be more of a norm on how much the price is, because there's a lot of like fluctuations of prices on accounts if you are going through third party, right? Now, I do want to give a credit, because I got this information really from Ihara. If you guys don't know Ihara, follow her. She has a lot of information. She does have English translation in here. Now, Ihara and I, we used to play back in the day in K41. It's been a very long time. She's really grown a lot on YouTube as well. She's awesome. She has a lot of great contents there, so make sure to check it out. So I got this image from her YouTube channel. It says here, for a long time, The Wangguo Jianxia operation team has not supported the console to trade the third-party roles, basically third-party sellers, because of the lack of supervision in the third-party trading market and the occurrence of deception of the players. So it really happens. Players have been deceived, scammed, but there's also some legit sellers, right? Out there. You can see other big names, big players in Rise of Kingdoms who have made purchases of accounts. Even in 2581, we have players here who have purchased accounts in here and much cheaper than my account. Some of them have even purchased like for $2,000, and it's even like stronger than my account. I've spent a lot on my account. All right, I just want to let you guys know that's a lot of spending in my account. But people are able to sell it because there are players out there that are like, okay, we just want to get rid of the account. I'll sell it cheap just so I can get some money out of it. So with Rise of Kingdoms creating this potential trade store for buying and selling account, they can pretty much supervise the price as well. So that means that it could be more expensive whenever you sell an account, and it is safe, right? So this says here, however, in many communications between the operation team and the players, we found that the demand of role of trading is a long-standing requirement that needs to be standardized and guided, which is I agree. Therefore, we plan to launch the first phase of the official role of migration service testing. Players with role trading needs can send letters under official account Awakening Nations. So apparently, this is still a testing phase. There's a micro store that I think it's involving WeChat. I don't pretty much understand the whole thing, but it involves WeChat. You kind of have to reach out to WeChat. This is also like in Chinese server, not in the international yet. So there's a lot more information in here. This test is only for characters who have entered the Season of Conquest. Accounts participating in role trading needs to be verified by the holder's real name. So I don't know what other information that they're going to be asking, because there's really lack of information in Rise of Kingdoms when you bind your account. The role of microstore charges a handling fee. Quota in this test is limited, and more detailed rules can be, basically there's going to be more rules coming out for this one. At the same time, we do not support the third-party role transactions. The transaction of non-awakening officials designated in microstore are not recognized. So they're not saying that they're going to ban anybody, but they're not recognizing them. They're not responsible for if anything happens. So I think this is interesting what they're really doing. The first test has now been opened. We apologize the inconvenience caused during the martial arts test, which I know probably the translation is bad. At the same time, we will also look forward to the feedback of the players. So there is this whole team called Universal Awakening Operation Team. So what does the store look like? So looking into here, into Ihara's video, the store looked like this. It is pretty interesting how they've done this. So I'm really hoping that they will implement this in the international server to our server. All right, because potentially maybe there are players that are like maybe like content creators that retires one day. There are many other content creators that they decide to like sell the account, pass the account. It's better that way than losing the progression of the account, right? So this is definitely very interesting. You can see the what is it called? The currency in here. I think that's Japanese yen, or is that RMB? That's not RMB, right? All right. So it looks like a Japanese yen. Anyway, you guys let me know if that's RMB or yen. I think that's yen. But that's pretty much the store, what it looks like in here. You can also see like, informations in the store like this. It says this is a VIP 16. It has all the screenshots, passport. I think the few things that are very important within selling an account, the value is not just about the power, because troops can be trained, the speed ups can be really be bought. The biggest thing I would say, the gears, whether the gears are crit. People have said about passport. I think passport shouldn't really be a big factor, because you can always buy them, the passport anyway. So gears are very important. They said passport as well. And then VIP level is very important. And then as well as like speed ups, gold heads. And I think the biggest impact that will make the pricing change is going to be the armaments. So with the armaments, if you get like really rare, like, armaments with really good inscription on it, it could potentially change the value of your account significantly. So that is something that, to consider if you ever engage into buying and selling an account. So keep that in mind. I think the path forward, really, like I said, of Rise of Kingdoms moving towards to like hosting this type of feature to have its own marketplace for accounts, I think that's a very good move. I do support it because it's better than going through the third party. It is safer. It is less risky because there's third party. You can get scammed from them. Now, I'm not saying every third party is a scam, but there's always scammers out there, and you need to be very careful. Like I said, a lot of the players in Rise of Kingdoms have already made some purchase, have sold their accounts. It does work, but there are certain players as well who also got scammed in Rise of Kingdom. So be careful whenever you're engaging in this action. I would say let's push for this in our international server for this thing to happen so that we will feel more safe if ever you decide to purchase an account, or if you decide to sell your account. Or even you can maybe make money out of like buying and selling an account through that process. I don't know how it's going to work, right? And then maybe you buy the account, you improve it, then you sell it after a few weeks, then you make a little profit from there. Really a lot of things that you can do with the buying and selling. And I think Rise of Kingdoms, hosting this is going to open up a lot of doors for a lot of players. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. I'll see you guys again next time.